Up everybody. So a lot of firsts today. First time I'm shooting a video off of my kayak. This is a Native Titan X 12.5. I also just got me a new camera. I've been doing a few YouTube videos, but I wanted to get one of the 360 cameras to really start capturing some fishing content. Also, it is extremely windy today, so I am also using the DJI mini mic, so we'll see how well that works. And then it is a 73 degree day in January. It's January 10th. I'm here in North Georgia at Lake Oconee, and I was able to get access to Reynolds Plantation, which is a very high-end community. Probably somewhere that I really wouldn't fish during the summertime at all, because this area is very known for sure vacationers, and so you're going to have a lot of your speedboats, your jet skis, everything else, everything you don't want to really encounter. There's a bass boat ripping right there. But everything you don't want to encounter in a kayak during the summertime. But I figured there's not going to be many of us out here on the lake today. At least there's not going to be any people doing water sports, maybe some other fishermen. So I thought it'd be a good time to like check it out and see if I can actually catch anything over here. Fish a lot of docks, some rock walls, some structure. We're gonna try to do, probably gonna throw a bunch of crankbaits today, maybe some jerk baits. The water temperature is 55 degrees. We've had about, I wanna say 4 days in a row of over 60, 3 or 4 days in a row. So it's been pretty nice. And water temperature is probably reflecting that a little bit. The coldest it got last night was like 60 degrees. I don't think it dropped below 60 last night. We had a storm come in last night, well, mainly just rain. And then there's a big front coming in this afternoon. So with a lot of winds, right now the winds are somewhat manageable. The reason I say somewhat is because they're already at about 11 to 15 miles an hour. So not terrible, but I also am gonna hug the coves, hug these little cul-de-sacs where the houses and stuff are, hit the docks, and just try to catch something today. This is my new Titan. So I had a blue one, same color, and my brother-in-law, who also loves to fish, was like, man, that thing looks bad. And I was like, yeah. And the guy that I got this one from in South Carolina, or the blue one too, had another one. So I messaged him and asked him, you know, offered him what I paid for the first one. He said, yeah, absolutely. So I went up there and got it. Really nice guy. He did a lot of kayak fishing. I think he's kind of moved to the Bonafide. So he likes the Bonafide XDR. Well, I mean, that's a really nice platform, but I tend to like this. I fished out of a few different natives. I had the Native Slayer 12.5, which is for sale at the moment, actually, if anybody's interested. And I love that boat. I really wanted something with swivel seats and a little more stable. I would like to try to take this one offshore at some point. I do a lot of saltwater fishing, and I would love to take this out and catch something off in the ocean. And then we do a lot of shark fishing too. So this summer we'll be doing some shark fishing from the beach content. Me and my brother-in-law, also with a couple of our friends. Michael's a good buddy of mine, lives up in North Carolina, and we kill it when we go up there. I wish we lived up there where he's at, but at the same time, it's a beach town, so I like my freshwater fishing. But my YouTube channel has pretty much consisted of just a bunch of different things. And I'm not really sure what my GoPro is doing right now, or my 360. Okay, the screen just blacked out. All right, I'm gonna look like a doofus on that part of it, but I'll let it roll. Again, this is a new camera, new kayak. I've never done any kayak content before, so this is all new to me. Just seeing how it goes. And I really like the 360, and I debated between this one and the Insta360. But with this one being a good bit less price-wise, I was like, man, I gotta. Plus, right around Christmas time, they had a bunch of deals, and so I'll just go with this one. But yeah, so I'll be letting you guys know when we catch something. for about an hour now. I've had one bite on a chatterbait, but if I don't catch anything, it's all good. Like, just want to talk a little bit about the Titan here. This is a super comfortable, super stable boat. As you saw a second ago, I was doing some fishing standing up. Like, I'm not worried about going in. I've heard some people complain about the deck gets wet. Like this is bone dry, other than a couple of droplets from getting in and out of the boat, or just from the rod swinging over and putting a little water in the boat. But otherwise, I mean, this thing has been a very dry ride. It's super windy today, so I'm not taking today as far as of how well it does getting blown around. Honestly, it hasn't been too bad, but I'm also not going out in the main lake. I'm kind of hugging the banks, hitting these coves. I don't feel like getting blown around. Plus, there has been a few boats moving pretty good, so don't feel like getting ran over or just blown around by the wind. But honestly, even in the wind, with just a pedal drive, it's been running pretty fine. I would like to put the Minn Kota Tarova, I believe that's how you say it, on the kayak. I've been debating about bow mount or stern mount. With the fishing that I do, I think the spot lock would be most beneficial for me. Just being able to cruise around docks and banks, and then being able to just lock in position. I think for me that's going to be most ideal. Yeah, getting across the lake or somewhere pretty quickly or a little bit faster would be nice, but honestly, I'll just run that. You know, I don't make any super long runs typically. I did a little bit of tournament fishing last year. Didn't place or anything, but I just kind of did it to kind of get my feet wet a little bit as I get more comfortable with it and find more and more spots to fish. I've been more of a kind of like a pond hopper for a while. Haven't really done too much lake fishing, but if you want to fish the tournaments, it's got to be lakes or rivers. So I am starting to fish Oconee more. I want to do Lake Russell, Lake Burton. I think it's Burton. Lake Rayburn up in like Toccoa area. I don't know how good the fishing is, but the water looks absolutely incredible up there. It's very beautiful. It's in the mountains. I probably wouldn't go over there in the wintertime because you were literally in the mountains. If anyone that's fished that lake, let me know. Is it worth about an hour and a half drive for me? I mean, hell, it takes me an hour just to get to Oconee. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. Go an extra 30 minutes. I got a little bit late start this morning. We were up late last night, but you know, ideally I would like to get out earlier, get out about before sunrise and be getting to the dock or the ramp right at daybreak or a little before daybreak, get everything set up. But I don't imagine we're gonna have too many more days like today, where it's just like 70 degrees. I thought the wind would be a no-go today because we're now we got a constant like 20 mile an hour wind with 30 to 35 mile an hour gusts. So, and also with the camera and the mic, we'll see how well that goes, and I'll do more reviews on that later. I used to do a lot of stuff on my truck, which I do plan on coming back. I've done a bunch of stuff to my Tacoma, so I'm gonna do some more videos on that. Honestly, I wanted to get a better quality camera and first, instead of just using my iPhone. I used to just use my iPhone for everything, so I wanted to actually get a camera where I can record and not have to worry about notifications and all kind of crap on my iPhone popping up. So this allows me to do that. Kind of worried now with DJI, and if anyone knows any more about it, please comment in the comment section. But with DJI stuff getting banned, Is there any possibility the firmwares and stuff eventually going to stop working? So you won't be able to do any updates on your cameras. Is that going to be a thing, or that was a terrible cast. I didn't want to get him in that guy's ramp, but or not ramp, dock. So if anyone knows, feel free to share. But I'm hoping to at least get a couple years out of this camera without it like just stopping working. I haven't seen anything that says their cameras will stop functioning. I know it's just pretty much new sales, but I feel like if they're stopping sales, then why would DJI continue firmware updates in the States? So I don't know. They're gonna have to do something though, because a lot of people use their drones, and there's not really another company right now that can come close to the quality of drones that they have, that for the same price anyways. I think for areas like this, being able to get a that bow mount spot lock will be very beneficial. Just kind of come up in here and just have a button to kind of hit. Kind of can cruise up in here. I was hoping to catch at least one today, but that may not happen. I'm gonna throw this a little bit more. If I don't get any other hits on it, I'm gonna switch up. Maybe let's see, I throw them chatterbait, throwing not a glide bait, a shaky head. I know shaky heads aren't the greatest in the wintertime, but I was like, well, it was already tied on. It had nothing with the crankbait. So never been all that great with the crankbait. I was hoping today would be different. I got some more on the way that's supposed to be better for some wintertime fishing. At least other YouTube channels say so. So ooh, that was close. Gotta continue to be mindful of those sticking out behind me. I'm still getting used. I've only really kayak fished for about a year. Like I said, I had that Slayer Max 12.5 or 12, whatever it is. And then before that, I had the Bass Pro Shop Ascend, and I did most of my fishing on that. Wanted to upgrade. That thing set very low in the water. I did a lot of DIY stuff with it, so of course I added a bunch of weight and did the DIY stern mount trolling motor setup with the foot steering. It worked. It wasn't quite made for that, so it made me a little nervous. I sold it to a guy who ended up doing a bow mount motor on it. So plus I wanted something a little bit more stable like this. And sorry if this video is a lot more rambling than it is actually catching fish, but if you want to watch the channel, then continue to watch it. If not, I appreciate you tuning in. But I'm gonna keep fishing, and hopefully I'll catch something. Not the only one who had the idea to chase those birds. So I guess other people saw that the birds were like just swarming. I mean, hundreds of birds. Now I got two of the guys right here on top of it. I'm gonna go ahead and go over there. Let's see what these birds are swarming on. Yep, they're anchoring up. Everybody's anchoring up. casual pedal, running about 3 miles an hour with the pedal, which not really pushing too hard, just nice and easy pedal. So I did get a little bit of water in here with the chop of all them boats. So but it was some pretty decent chop. I guess it came over the backside because basically with all that extra chop with the wind, I got some water. It didn't come over the bow, so I guess it came over the stern because I never even saw it. All of a sudden I looked down, unless one of my scuppers came undone. I looked down and there was water in the kayak, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. See, I don't feel like pedaling that far because the birds have gone way over there to the point the boats are able to chase them. And unless I had a motor, I probably am not gonna ever get to them before they move again. So I'm gonna start running the shore. It's 11:20. Start working my way back to the ramp as well. I'm gonna hit these docks here, maybe hit, I don't know, 4 or 5 right through here, see how it goes. The water, they're actually blocked from the wind at the moment, so we'll go over there and hit that, and then we'll probably start, like I said, going back towards the dock, the ramp. Plus I'm getting kind of hungry, so. But I was able to remove these 2 front scuppers without more water getting in and let what was in here drain. There's still a little bit of water in here, but it's very minimum. I'll start carrying probably a little towel too to kind of help with when it gets in here. I mean, in the summer it's not bad. I thought I grabbed my waterproof shoes this morning, but I had to run back inside and get a couple tackle boxes that I didn't grab. And then when I came back out, I was in a hurry to get to the lake that I put on my non-waterproof shoes. So my feet got a little wet, and that's how I realized that I was now standing in water. A little bit of a nest there. All right, cool, it's out. I may switch to a Ned rig too real quick before I call it up, just to say. I've had success with a Ned rig in the past when just absolutely couldn't catch anything. I was able to get one on the Ned, so I'll run this dock with this fluke and then I'll switch over to the Ned rig. There's a pretty decent drop off here too, because it's like around 5 feet closer to the bank, and then we're already at 10. And then it gets to like 25, 30 feet where we just were chasing the birds. Feel free, guys, too, if I get any people that's been making, especially fishing content for a minute, if things I can do to improve, or, you know, I'm always willing to learn. I'm sure there are people that are gonna give me shit for things that I've done or said or whatever, but I'm new to it, trying to build a channel. I love fishing, I love doing things outdoors, so figured share it. And I'll also be doing a bunch of ponds. I got access to a bunch of ponds, probably not in this boat because it's so heavy, but I have a Nuke Flint that I will be fishing ponds with, as well as doing some river fishing this summer. And so when we go kayak or go shark fishing at the beach, we usually drop our baits with a kayak. And the one I got last year, which was a Cobra Express. I heard a lot of good things about it. Actually watched some pretty well-known shark fishing guys, and they absolutely love it. And it's a very fast boat. through the waves. And it's probably just my lack of ability to be super stable. But I would run that boat, and I could get out there quickly. And it like a one paddle, you know, usually a paddle stroke, you know, when you're trying to guesstimate how far you've gone out, a paddle stroke's about a yard. Not that one. That was, you know, 300 paddle strokes, you may be 500 yards out. I mean, it's super efficient to the water. However, it's not stable at all. And I flip that thing more times than I can count. And when you're in the ocean and you're not used to being that far out in the water, some of these guys, you know, it's no problem. You know, they live there, it doesn't bother them. But me, I don't particularly want to be out 300 to 500, 600 yards off the beach with everything swimming around me, keep getting dunked. Because in choppy surf, I was dumped a few times. But luckily, I hadn't been dropped with a bunch of bait on the boat still, where I'm getting worried about getting tangled up in lines. But it's still one of those things that I was concerned about. So the Flint is definitely stabler than that kayak. I don't know if many people's ever really used it for trying to drop baits with. So I will be bringing you guys along and letting you know my experience with it too, because maybe it's an untapped potential for that kayak. It's a river kayak, so I would think that through choppy stuff it does well. Again, I'm not completely an idiot. I know if I take something out with like 4, 6, 7 foot swells, there's a likelihood I may flip it anyways. So regardless of what kayak I am. And I also wanted to do some fishing in the intercoastal. And with that Cobra Explorer, it's not a fishing kayak whatsoever. There's no rod holders, and plus any slight movements, I was unstable with it. So this will allow me to get out in the intercoastal and do some fishing, and maybe even catch some bait out there too. So yeah. Ned rig does. I mean, had a couple hits on this similar color with the Texas rig. Something feels off about this rod and this reel. By no means am I a professional or claim to be a professional. I still make mistakes and get tangled up like most average guys. So that's what has happened. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to order a new, I'm not even sure what you want to call it there, but my top for my reel just went in about 9 feet of water. All right, I don't know if any of these other ones will work. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me right now. Oh my God. I literally caught one. I had one on this line with no freaking, I can't tighten it. Like, I felt it hit and I was like, what the hell? Sure enough, there was a, and seeing these are both Abu Garcia reels, and this is a Lose, so I don't even know if this is going to hold. I mean, I guess it's better than losing the whole. but I 100% had a fish on just then. And if I would have been able to bring it up like that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this one in the black pack because I don't feel like losing another one, but I'll just order another top. If that's the first thing I'll lose with kayak fishing, then I'll take it, because it's better than losing a whole rod and reel combo. But son of a gun. I'm glad I actually caught that on camera though. Let's see if I can catch again whatever was picked up this Ned rig, like why it was just sitting there. Well, I learned that the drag tensioner, if that's what you call them, are universal to a certain extent. Oh, sweet. It's really tucked in back over here. The wind's blocked for all these houses. So maybe I'll actually catch something without getting blown all over the place. I don't like doing that. Damn it. So that's about it for today. It's right at noon, a few minutes before. I had a few bites, didn't catch anything, but I really enjoyed getting out here and getting to put this thing for the test for the first time with this kayak. I didn't get a chance to actually catch anything in it, but had a few good bites. Learned a few things. It does handle well in the chop. The wind, I mean, you're sitting high off the water, you pretty much are a sail. The pedal drive does a great job. I mean, right now I'm going directly into the wind. I don't know how the quality sounds. But I mean, we're at just a light pedal, about 1.75, 1.8. Well, roughly 2 miles an hour into the wind. So I'm not out here trying to ride like I'm trying to get exercise, although I don't mind the exercise that I get from it, but at the same time I will put a motor on this eventually. Just couldn't do it at the moment, but very stable. I love being out here on it. I got plenty of room. Like, I don't feel like I'm hurting for space at all. Compared to my Slayer, I felt like I had good room there. I felt like I was stable on that. But the stability of this is, you can't compare the two. I was looking at getting the Hammer, but the two kayaks that I got recently, I got a really good deal in the marketplace. And I was like, well, I feel like either one of them, I'm gonna have to trailer. I know some guys saying that, oh, they may not have to trailer a Hammer. I feel like once you load it out, you're gonna want to trailer that thing, especially if you're using it all the time. I got a trailer for this one and John boat trailer, and kind of converted it to a kayak trailer, replacing the wooden bunks, and went with PVC and carpeted it, and had a couple issues with that. That was a interesting story in itself, but basically the quick version is I was going to get this kayak. Actually, the trailer was empty. I got on the interstate, and between like 65 and 80, which I know some people are gonna be like, you shouldn't be driving that fast with a trailer. Yeah, but I really don't want to be going so slow where I'm a hazard for, just because I'm going too slow for the flow of traffic. But anyways, it started to shake, but it was like a consistent shake, like every 2 seconds, like 2 seconds on, 2 seconds off, there'd be some shaking. When I say shaking, the best I can describe it is like running over rumble strips. So it'd be like 2 seconds on rumble strips, 2 seconds off. And it just stayed like that between that mile, for those miles an hour. And even when it got slower, I could still feel it slightly. And I was like, well, damn. So I called my brother-in-law, he's a mechanic. I called my other brother-in-law, who's also a mechanic. And they're like, man, I don't really know. These are some possibilities. I was like, okay, cool. So I was doing some work on it the other day because I was also on the way home, and I got just the standard bunks that like just bolt on with a single pivot, and those also canted inwards on the way home. I thought they were tight, but apparently not, so I actually tack welded those together, so those won't do that anymore. But anyways, so I was welding it. I was like, well, let me take these tires off, because I looked up, like, well, maybe the wheels aren't balanced, because like it felt more rotational, because it wasn't just all the time or sporadic. It was consistently 2 seconds on, 2 seconds off. I was like, okay, well, what the hell's going on with the trailer? So I take off the wheel. Now, I had just bought it a month ago, 2 months ago, and the big cotter pins that go in your castle nut, the guy before me had a cotter pin, I guess it was a spare that he forgot to take off, taped to the hub. So pressed up against the wheel and the hub was the damn cotter pin. I was like, well, that's probably the issue right there. I went ahead and took it to Tires Plus, and they just balanced both the tires. I think it was like 30 bucks. I was like, hell, let's just go ahead and knock out that, just in case the cotter pin wasn't an issue. And now, of course, one of the two was the issue. I'm gonna guess that much rattling was probably that cotter pin, just because it wasn't seated all the way. So yeah, got that fixed. But please like, subscribe to the channel. It's Dan's channel, by the way. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comment section. Any tips, leave that down there too. I'm all about growing and learning. Again, I'm new to the kayak fishing. I've always loved fishing. It's probably been my passion since I was a kid, that and hunting, but kind of as I've gotten older, enjoyed being on the water more. But I want to continue to do this. I want to continue to just make content from just an average person's perspective. I'm not sponsored in any way. I don't have any affiliates. I don't have any of that. So everything I buy, I get with my money. At least right now. We'll see how this channel goes. But I also still will be doing, like I said, the stuff with my truck. I want to do a couple videos because I've had like I said, I went with a Ironman lift kit. I went with Black Rhino, that's what it is, Black Rhino wheels. And I've just done a bunch of stuff to that I want to bring up. And then also I did some like home generator stuff. I've kind of progressed a little bit with that. I hope the audio still sounds good because that's some hellacious wind right now. So if it sounds good, then this mic pack is pretty incredible, which I've heard good things about it, that it's supposed to be pretty good even in these high winds. So we'll tell when when I listen to the audio later editing this video. But yeah, so I'll finish with the home stuff, the generator projects, like the home generator, things like that. I kind of got away from making videos for a while. Just like with anyone else, life kind of got busy, so trying to do anything really just became incredibly busy. So life is starting to slow down a little bit. So hopefully with the slowing down, and I'll be able to make more content. Hopefully I'll be able to do this. This is kind of what I want to do the most of. I love fishing, and if I can just, it doesn't take any time to throw that camera on the mount and then just come out here with you guys. One reason I went with the 360 camera, and I may regret it, I don't know, we'll see. It's all a test. As most of the guys I see, they'll have like a camera out behind them out here, kind of facing this way in the kayak, and then like one on the chest. But then you're having to buy two cameras, which, you know, maybe eventually I'll do that. But I was like, I want to see what the 360 camera does, because I can see out in front of me. I can rotate the camera in the editing features. I'm very much learned by YouTube. So just watching other people's YouTube channel to figure out exactly how stuff works. So I saw that the capabilities of what this can do in the editing feature, and I saw a couple other kayak fishermen that use it. So I wanted to go ahead and put it on there so I can use it and just try it out. Like, I tried a couple different angles today. Because I don't have a chest mount camera to get that forward view, I probably won't do the behind, because I want to be able to show you guys, you know, kind of where I'm at, what I'm doing, fishing. You know, if I'm using top water, get a good top water shot, and then also doing everything right here in the kayak. And I feel like this is a good mount and a good option for that. Like I said earlier, I just hope that DJI doesn't stop with the firmware updates and stuff that makes the camera not being able to be used or compatible with the app. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, again, I appreciate you guys coming out. The wind's strong enough now and getting misted off the water, so I'll probably call it at a good time. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please click that like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. See you guys.